3D websites are amazing, even better when you can actually interact with the design. In today's video, I will show you how to make them without writing a single line of code. Let's go! This is Spline, and it lets you work in both 2D and 3D. Stick around till the end and I will show you how to make this interactive keyboard and add it straight to your firmware website. Let's start with my favorite part. Spline has a huge community with loads of ready-made files, effects, UI style elements, abstract stuff and all kind of things. Instead of starting from scratch, you can find something you like and remix it. Now, once you're inside the file, it feels pretty intuitive. You've got the layers on the left, settings on the right, and you can move around the scene like a camera. You can preview everything instantly and see how it reacts, which makes experimenting really easy. Once you're happy with it, all you have to do is to click Export. Then you can copy the embed code, open your Framer file, and add it as embed. Paste the code into HTML section, and that's it. That's super simple. If you are a UI designer, you're gonna like this feature. This is Hannah, and it lets you create 2D designs into a 3D. First up, we're going to open Create and select 2D design. Then, in the top panel, we will select the frame and draw a rectangle sized 560 by 560. We will change the fill color to slightly gray, so it's easier to see while we work. For the control key, I'm gonna use two exact same rectangle, so I'm gonna draw the first one, then duplicate that layer and rotate it 90 degrees. This gives us the basic structure for the control key shape. Now, I'm gonna select both rectangles together, and in the right hand panel, under the boolean, we're gonna choose the first option to merge them. This lets us combine both shapes into a single clean key form. To make it feel a bit softer and more UI friendly, we'll go to Shape and set the corner radius to 20. We're gonna make this button green. To add a key label, we will create a frame in the exact same green color, add text, and then use the pen tool to draw the control key shape. We are doing this so the text stays perfectly aligned and scale nicely with the key. Once that's done, we're gonna export it as PNG. Now we can replace the boolean fill with that image, which gives us much more control over the final look. Let's move to Effects and add a 3D shape. This is where we start turning our flat shape into something that feels physical. First, we will increase the depth to around 330. That's a bit too much, so we're gonna scale it down to 3.5 to keep everything proportional. Next, we will increase the bevel size and switch it to flat rounded. This helps the edges catch light more naturally and keeps the key from looking too sharp. In Transform, we're gonna set the rotation to -24, 8 and 25 and make sure the perspective is set to 0. This angle gives us a more natural, slightly isometric feel. At this point, the depth and bevel are a bit too strong, so we'll slightly reduce them until it feels more balanced. We can also use the presets here, which will give us this amazing metallic look, but for this tutorial, I'm gonna keep it simple. Inside light, we'll add a shadow using a dark green color. We match the shadow color to the key so it feels more realistic and less artificial. We will increase the height and adjust the direction so the shadow sits directly underneath the key. Then, under Effects, we will add a drop shadow. We will increase the Y value so it's dropped below the shape and add a blur to soften it. Again, we'll use a darker green so everything feels cohesive. And our 3D shape is ready. Now, let's add interactions, and for that, we will need states. We will add a second state, and on this state, we will go back to the 3D shape settings and reduce the depth significantly. This makes the key feel like it's being pressed down. When we switch between states, we can clearly see the difference. The base state is raised and the press state is flatter. States alone won't trigger anything, so next we will add an event. We will select the boolean frame and go to the right panel and add a mouse press event. This will transition from the base state to the press state. We'll set the transition to spring and slightly adjust the mass so it feels responsive instead of stiff. Now, for the second key, we repeat the exact same steps. We'll duplicate the green key and turn this into a command key. We'll change the fill to black color, update the label, and then export it as PNG. Back to the mainframe, we're gonna draw a square and fill it with that image. Then we will add a 3D shape and match the depth, scale, rotation, and bevel so both keys feel consistent. We will add a pressed state and the mouse press event just like before. So now we can press both keys and they are interactive. To push it further, we're gonna add one more state to the black key. In this third state, we're gonna change the rotation to -65. This adds a bit of personality and makes this interaction feel less static. Because now we have multiple states, we will use hover on both keys and then mouse press on the black key to circle between the states. This is gonna give us a more playful and layered interaction. Finally, we're gonna remove the background from the mainframe and hit export. We will choose Copy HANA Embed and open our Framer file. Lastly, inside Framer, I'm gonna draw a frame and fill it with this gradient. Next, I will add a navigation on top, as well as hero section. I'm gonna add the title, subtitle, and the button. I can add our 3D creation on the right side on the desktop version, and I think it's gonna look absolutely amazing. So what I have to do is search for embed, and then in the HTML, paste that link. I'm gonna place that embed inside my design and hit play. That's it. It's fully interactive and ready to go. This is my favorite way to turn a boring website into something more creative. And that's it for today. If you have any questions, leave them down below, like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!